Good afternoon, Mrs. Reding, and welcome at the University of Luxembourg. I have one question about youth rights or rights for young people. It's really nice to hear from you that you think that we should invest more in young people and in education, because if you analyze the budget from the European Union, we invest more in cows than in young people.
Yes.
And that's something that has to change. And I'm going now to talk about internships, which is a really important point and instrument from the transition from the education to employment. At the moment, a lot of young people are doing unpaid internships in Europe, which is, in my opinion, a scandal, because these young people are working and it's unpaid work that they are doing. Wouldn't it be possible to make a European directive or a law or something that made mandatory for employers to pay internships for young people, or at least to establish a system in the European Union that makes it possible for young people who do not have this ability, financial possibilities to make during months unpaid internships, because there are also young people who cannot afford to do unpaid internships. That's the question. Thank you very much.
I absolutely agree with you on your first analysis, saying that we pay more for cows than we pay for people. We collectively have already become better because the agricultural policy was once of a time a majority nearly of the European budget. It has now come down very much, but still it is a very high policy. And remember maybe the discussion which was ongoing on the new budget for the years to come, and where the fights were. France has been blocking every reform of the agricultural benefits you could imagine, because it is a holy cow in France. But you need unanimity on these budgetary questions, and that is why you have this problem. I said to a question before that 94% of the European budget is exported to the member state. A big part of this goes to agricultural policy, and other big part, and that is good, goes to the question which you asked on regional policy, because that is investment, that is helping companies to go ahead. In our program countries, we have also given money through the social funds to those companies in order to be capable to engage young people for vocational training, paid vocational training, helping them to go ahead. Now, you know the question of the minimum salary, and you know what waves it does. Now here in Luxembourg, for our policy and of all political parties, I do believe, a minimum salary is a must. We couldn't think to be without a minimum salary. See what happens in Germany, where a minimum salary is the devil being alive. So why do I tell you this? That shows you that those kind of policies are national policies. We cannot, in questions of minimum salary or in questions of developing the rules on salaries or things like that, we cannot intervene in the national state. What we can do, and this we have done in the Leonardo da Vinci program, which is on young people going to other countries in order to have a training, to do volontariat. C'est pas how you translate that?
Volontariat?
No.
Voluntary?
No, volontariat, training, to have a training. So that they are paid a little at that moment. But that is again on the moving, you see, crossing the border where we can intervene. Social policy you are speaking about is in great extent still in the hands of the national state. And we would need a treaty change in order to have a more uniform rules, at least basic rules, maybe not on the wage height, but on the fact that you receive a wage that could be done at the European level, but for this we will need a treaty change. Treaty change, I hope we are going to speak about, because that is one of the things which is on the agenda, and for many problems which we need to solve, treaty change will be basic. If not, the actual treaty doesn't permit us to go to this direction.